Hello, welcome to Stratus Podcast, a regular Nordcloud podcast about a cloud with Paul Stapley and Vitor Domingos.
Hey, hello. Our first podcast together.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a fun one. So maybe we should start with introductions.
Let's do it.
From your side first.
Absolutely. Okay, so Paul Stapley, the country manager for Nordcloud Limited. So we are the UK arm of the Nordcloud organisation, which is based in Helsinki, and it's my job essentially to grow our business here in the UK.
I'm the UK CTO, and I'm still discovering Nordcloud a lot.
Yes.
You know that, but also I think that we have a lot of work to do, but also a lot to explore, which is really fun, and it's really a good challenge. And I'm taking that challenge in, and let's go.
Good. Lots of opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah, good.
So for our audience, that because this is going to be at episode number 1.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully more.
Otherwise, it's going to be episode number 0, and then no one's going to see this anymore. But yeah, we have a plan to put more episodes, probably once per month at least.
Yes.
That's kind of our goal here. But this podcast, well, first of all, about the name. So Stratus Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Why Stratus? Stratus is the lowest cloud that you can have. So we thought that it could be a good opportunity for us to bring the cloud environment to reality, to close to earth, down to earth,
Yes.
and talk about the capabilities, the possibilities that cloud provide, but in a real way, rather than just go.
Yes.
Kind of sales pitch. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with cloud, but actually bring some examples, bring some stuff from our business and our reach with clients, and bring that to the table and talk to our audience about our experiences. As I said, bring that to reality, and that's it. So we try to demystify the cloud.
Yes.
For people that think that cloud is really complicated and complex, which is not. It just needs the proper help and someone to. Kind of grab.
We take
hand.
on that challenge.
Exactly.
Let's see if we can help.
Exactly. But it's also a podcast about Nordcloud.
Yes.
Because we work for Nordcloud. We represent Nordcloud here in the UK. And maybe you can talk about Nordcloud as a company, as
absolutely.
a group, and then probably in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. So Nordcloud is about 7 or 8 years old, and as the name suggests, Nord as in the Nordics and cloud as in cloud, so it goes together quite nicely. And really the company has expanded beyond its Nordic base into Western Europe. So it's fair to say lots of growth because there's lots of opportunity out there. And we represent the 3 main public cloud platforms. So we work with Amazon Web Services, with Microsoft Azure, and with Google Cloud Platform. And really our job is to essentially help customers adopt the cloud in the right way, I would say, and to ensure that it enables all of those benefits that we associate with cloud. So really it is about underpinning the agility that organizations will need to be competitive in the future, and really that's what we're trying to do. That's our mission, I would say.
And you are from the start. Well, I'm going to bring this as an interview mode.
Yes.
So that you can explain why Nordcloud are here in the UK, because you've been here since the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of the father of Nordcloud.
Yeah,
UK.
I am. I know. I feel quite old actually when I come into the office and I see the team. I've been here nearly 5 years actually. So. I think when Nordcloud wanted to come to the UK, clearly recognised that the UK was a much larger market than the ones that they have at home. It is more sophisticated. There is more opportunity. Clearly, there's more competition. But I think if Nordcloud really wanted to imprint itself in the world of cloud service providers, it needed to be in the likes of the UK. We're now obviously also in Germany and Holland and so on. And really, my, I suppose, role has been to try and establish the business and build up more and more customers to be able to grow the business and to be able to really begin to show Amazon and Microsoft and Google that we really are a high quality partner.
Yeah. I know that because I'm dealing with that as well.
Exactly.
Not just on the kind of the market side, but also on the technical side of it. We have really good resources, also here in the UK and abroad, and within the group that we can that work for us and help us achieve this kind of results with our clients. But enough of ourselves here on Nordcloud. This is just for the first episode, for the introduction, and for people to know us and the company a bit more. Today we're going to try to bring kind of two main themes to this podcast every time. Today we're going to have obvious two. I think that the first one is about the public cloud adoption. Kind of here in the UK, how do we feel? How do we see the market going? Any kind of statistics that we can provide just to bring that into a picture, and then also about digital transformation, which is what everyone is talking about.
It's the buzzword of the moment.
It is. So we try to demystify that as well. So bring that to
what does it mean
to reality.
Yeah.
So starting with the public cloud adoption. So when we look at statistics, most of the and also when we look at our clients, most of the stuff that we've been seeing is that there's a lot of adoption, a lot of usage around AWS, kind of the leading the market.
Yes.
Well, because cloud started with them, it's natural to have this. They own the market. They invest a lot of their profit into their infrastructure. They're scaling. And they're quite doing an interesting job when it comes to decoupling services, because if you remember, 10 years ago, they were just compute and memory and network and storage. Right now, there's a lot of small services, microservices that we can consume. Yes. Then Microsoft came along again with a lot of investment. He ramped up, and right now, recent statistics, one owns kind of 60% of the market, the other one owns kind of almost 40 or something.
Yes.
Right? So we have a lot of split between this. Obviously, then we go to the smaller niche kind of markets when it comes to Google, when it comes to Alibaba or other private clouds. But mostly the public cloud market is either owned by Amazon or Microsoft.
Yes.
Any views on that? Do you think it reflects what we've been seeing with our clients as well?
Absolutely. So when we started 4 or 5 years ago, we very much, our heritage was AWS, and certainly we were finding that when we went to the customer, we were pretty much agnostic in our approach. We wanted to make sure that the customer adopted the cloud that was right for them based on what they were trying to achieve. And really, at that time, a lot of customers were talking about AWS. It was the one that they knew. It was the one that their developers had been experimenting with. Frankly, it was an easy platform to adopt for some of those early workloads or those proof of concepts that they were trying out. And I would say it's fair that in the last couple of years, customers are now really talking about Azure. And I think that's because a lot of work has been done by Microsoft. The maturity of their platform, the breadth of their offering, they have a slightly different approach. Clearly, they also have the heritage of long experience with enterprise customers. And of course, those customers may have been a bit slower to adopt cloud than perhaps startup businesses and media organizations and gaming organizations and so on. Some of those companies were our first type of customers. And so what it's meant is that you now have a discussion generally with customers around the benefits of the different clouds for the different types of workloads and businesses that they have. And of course, there's also Google in the mix as well, and there's been change at the management of Google there, and the focus is clearly beginning to mean that Google is being taken more and more seriously by the customer base in terms of adopting cloud. So I think those things mean that whereas conversation was perhaps really predominantly about Amazon, 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's broader, and that's a good thing for us because we can manage as Nordcloud any of those platforms. We work with them all, and we have a lot of experience and expertise within the business. So yeah, I definitely see that happening, and that's good for everybody. Of course, it drives innovation. It means everybody is on their toes because everybody wants to win business, which means the customer should get the best fit for what they're looking for.
So, which brings me to the subject of because we have 3 major players. There's also a lot of companies, or at least a lot of appetite in the market to have a multi-cloud strategy, not just with the public cloud, but also, especially on the enterprise level, with the stuff that they have in-house, on-premise, right? Yes. They build a lot of investment, they have a lot of stuff there, they can't move immediately to the cloud because it's CapEx versus OpEx, and they can change that overnight, so they need to continue to have that investment or transform. From a technical point of view, I see a game of the cat and the mouse, because I see Microsoft as step up really serious on this kind of multi-cloud approach with Azure Stack. They have all of their technology. AWS is trying to join the game with VMware and AWS as well to cope with Microsoft. But bottom line, I think the enterprise grade level clients that we have, they might, or in the market as well, they have this kind of approach of, I need a multi-cloud strategy, not just for the public, but also for the stuff that I have in-house. Yes. Because I need to transform that. Which brings me to kind of the latest statistics about the enterprise cloud strategy. Most of them, I'm just seeing that now, kind of 84% of the companies that were interviewed for this survey, they like the multi-cloud approach. Yeah. And most of them, they prefer the hybrid cloud. So something in-house and something outside. We are known to be a public cloud company, but not all.
No, exactly. So, when we started, very much the mantra of the company was public cloud. And I think that, in those early customers that we were working with the startups, with the gaming organizations, with the media organizations, that fitted perfectly well. There was no legacy that they had to worry about, and so the public cloud story fitted really, really well, and we were a great match for those guys. Clearly, if you have made investment in on-premise IT infrastructure, or you have infrastructure somewhere that is supporting mission critical workloads, you're not just going to junk that. There is going to be a period of transition, and during that period of transition, you're going to need to be able to work with both approaches. And so, hybrid is really important. And as an organization, Nordcloud is working with enterprise companies that have that approach. And of course, all that means it just changes the way in which you adapt your design strategies and your management strategies and so on. But I think if we were just as an organization to say, well, it's public cloud and nothing else, I think we would definitely be cutting out a whole bunch of customers. And also, I don't think that is really a relevant message for organizations, because it kind of is trying to ignore reality, which is just a daft thing to do. Exactly.
And then we're going to discuss about the digital transformation, about reality. But also, multi-cloud or hybrid cloud or this kind of approach brings a lot of challenges. Right? Yes. And what we've been seeing also with the clients is that most of these challenges are around cost management. How do I manage my assets? How many do I have? How much will they cost me to run on any cloud that I'm gonna have in the future, versus what I have right now, doing this kind of TCO versus on-premise versus public cloud, but also how do I keep on track of the costs and budget I'm going to have for the cloud environment. And then probably I would put kind of the second one, which is around security, right? So first one is how much will I spend with the cloud, and second one, how do I keep my stuff secure in the cloud. Absolutely. and so that we don't see any kind of issues with S3 buckets or any kind of stuff that is not properly configured on the cloud. It's an issue. So security is also one of the big elements that I see our clients, our customers looking at it and being concerned about that. I think that there's a lot of others that are not that clear as cost and security, but it's also about control. How we're going to control cloud in the future, or is it going to be performant? How do I test the applications? Because if I'm good, I already know how my application runs on premise or on one specific cloud. Will it run on the same way on another cloud? Do you need to do performance testing, application performance as well, and monitoring? So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be put there to control the cloud environment, and that's what enterprise clients need to think and need to
exactly. That's their expectations, and quite rightly so. It is essentially you're adopting something that is different to try and achieve those business outcomes, but you've got to keep one eye on the things that organizations, enterprises are very keen to know is exactly that. How does the finance side of things work? How does the security side of things work? How will we control? How do we make this visible throughout the organization? And really, I think that from our perspective at Nordcloud, that is always about trying to ensure that the customer has the correct operating model. They have traditional operating models, but what does the operating model in the cloud need to look like, and how does that complement those traditional ways of working, so that you always are bringing out the best from that? And also, not just in terms of the operating model, but how do you manage the whole cloud adoption throughout the organization, and whether that be your cloud steering group or your cloud competence center, which is how we like to refer to it. It is really about ensuring that an organization, it's a very grown-up, mature way of adopting cloud, and continuously reviewing what you're doing and making sure that whole organization has great visibility, understands its security stance throughout. All the development teams know what they are going to be doing, and that's really, when we talk about management of cloud, it's all of those elements. It's not just about how much are we spending per month on this particular environment. There's a lot more to that, and that's really one of the big set of challenges that we address with our customers in any cloud adoption journey.
Exactly. Well, I like this kind of setup mode. When I just introduce the theme, you just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But so still with the multi-cloud approach or hybrid approach, we partner with AWS, Azure, Microsoft, and Google. Yeah, 3 major players. Which, by the way, we are hiring for AWS senior architect. So shameless pub around here.
Yes, we're always hiring, but in particular at the moment, we are definitely looking for some AWS additional AWS skills.
So what we bring to the table is kind of, if someone is listening to us and wants to apply, they can go to the website, also on LinkedIn, and maybe we can, because we're going to post this on YouTube, maybe you can have some feedback, some Q&A afterwards.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But AWS Senior Architect, that's something that we are hiring at the moment, because we are seeing a lot of business in that area.
Absolutely.
Because we also discuss about that.
Yes.
It's the market.
It is.
That.
It is.
So let's end that on first theme. The second one will be kind of, I don't know, boring for some. Others might see as a big challenge. Yeah. But it's about digital transformation, right?
Yeah.
So it's a big buzz.
Yes.
It's a big thing that appears on the market. Everyone talks about that, either in the public or private sector. Everyone wants to do digital transformation. Some of them know what digital transformation means, and or what they want out of it. Some of them, they just, I don't know, it's something that I heard on CIO magazine or whatever, on a podcast about cloud. Do I need to do the digital transformation? But I think that if you look at why do we talk about this, is mostly about what the market wants. They want some change. They want to access better services. They want to have better applications. They want to have access to data. So that's the market telling, well, I need to see some change. And we see on the other side companies that they don't know how to deal with that change. They need to get the buyout of everyone to do that transformation. They need to to do investment, but overall they need to connect between what the market wants and how they want it versus how they can provide that. And that's usually the issue, right? So how do they do this kind of connection? That's a digital transformation.
Yes.
This digital transformation is not putting a website for clients to use on a new application. It's actually connecting how clients talk or want things from an enterprise world or whatever. How this connection is made. Do you think it's a good way to put it?
Well, I think it to be succinct on digital transformation can be difficult. But
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll try my best. I mean, the way I sort of so my background is in the media and broadcast industry, and we thought that transformation was when we moved from analog to digital TV signals, and that really was a technological transformation. But if you step forward and you think about how do people consume content today, and if we use the example of Netflix, that is digital transformation in the broadcast industry.
Yeah.
Okay, because you are signing up to an application, you are entering your details, you are making a digital payment, you are consuming content on a mobile device or devices at home, and the whole way in which you transact with that organization is completely different. It's a global organization, and it's able to bring out content to a global audience, and that's very different. Now that's transformation in one industry. But I think the key here is the technology enabler the main technology enabler was cloud, but it's also driven an organization to think in a digital way, the way in which its consumers consume, the way in which they pay for services, the way in which they find out about services in terms of recommendation, in terms of linking in with social media and so on. That is the transformation that has taken place in that particular industry, and it's happening in all industries, and we are seeing that all over. And so what it means is, if you're a traditional business, is it all lost? No, it's not all lost. But what it does mean is that your transformation isn't just about adopting a cloud infrastructure and replacing your traditional IT, perhaps. It's also about thinking about how does your marketing teams work with your development teams? How do your finance teams work? Everything in your business is fundamentally got to change, because new people are coming into the market with new ideas and new ways of thinking of things, and they're going to take your customers. So the digital transformation is really important. It's not just a technology transformation. It's a transformation for your organization because your market is transforming. And that's why it can be quite overwhelming. For some, it represents a real opportunity, and for some, it represents a real threat. What we know is that it is real, it's not going away, yeah. And so, of course, how do you address that? And we can't solve, for example, all of your problems as Nordcloud in that challenge, but what we can do is bring experience and bring expertise to help build some of those infrastructure requirements that would underpin your own transformation. So when we think about digital transformation, we're very much empathizing with those challenges that a customer has, and what we bring to the piece is part of the solution, I would say.
And those challenges, they not come only from the market, but also from the business itself.
Yeah.
Because the business they know that they need to transform, but they don't know how. So we have this kind of middleman here, right? That hears from the business, well, we need to do this digital transformation because we need to listen to our customers, right? But how we close this gap, how do we tell the business what is really digital transformation? It's not just about technology. No. It's listening to the customer, as you just mentioned with Netflix. Obviously, cloud was a big enabler for Netflix, but not only that, they really know what the customer wants.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing that throughout the way that Netflix produces shows.
Yeah.
So they produce a show because they see people actually watching stuff on Netflix, and then they're going to invest on that show.
Yeah.
They're going to spend money. They're going to bring the show to the Netflix. Voila.
Yeah.
They transform their business. They're not just doing cloud or using the network to stream stuff. That's not their business. Their business is actually producing shows that people want to watch, and when they pay for that. Obviously they use everything else, but they're best at knowing what people actually are watching. There's some kind of interesting stories where if you're binge watching a bunch of series, Netflix will alert you and say, listen, is everything okay with you?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you feeling well?
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff.
I think I've had that message.
So it's really interesting to because when we talk to our customers, we feel the pain on both sides. So because we face that kind of middleman, the business wants this digital transformation, the pressure from the business to transform because they're losing business or market, and the market saying, well, listen, I need really new stuff, and they need to come up with some solutions. That's where we come in and help, not just with cloud, but also building solutions and applications and other stuff, which is really interesting. And I think that the most key when you do digital transformation, because it's people think, well, I need to transform stuff. Something that I need to transform is something else. No, it's really innovation, right? If I don't have it, I need to put that something new. I need to either say, well, I don't need this in my new way of doing business, or I need to reinvent my processes and workflows and that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting to see how the whole market is reacting to this. And this is not a new theme. It's something that appeared a few years ago, but we still haven't tackle what this means to a lot of business, which is really interesting. I hope that we brought some kind of clarity into this. Hopeful. Right. So kind of major theme here, and maybe about some statistics. I really like this about priority technology investments in 2019. I think because cloud is one of them. I think that. From this statistic is kind of 37%, and then cybersecurity. So which brings me to the other subject, which is if we're going to do a cloud investment, if we want to do multi-cloud or hybrid secure. So the first one challenge was cost, the second one was security, and what people see in 2019 and their planning is cloud is going to be an investment as well as security.
Yes.
So people need to be worried about that. Maybe that's something that we can discuss in the next episodes.
Yes.
But the next episode will be about.
It will be about security. Let's pick that as a subject.
But not only, we have this one prepared.
You tripped me up.
I did.
Go on. Well, you know the answer.
I know. No, so we're going to talk about security. That's one of the things. But also, we're going to talk about the AWS partner event.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You forgot that one.
Yeah,
That's on the notes.
I know. Thanks for reminding me.
So we're going to have the next episode we're going to do. It's going to be in September. It's going to be after the AWS partner event, which we're going to be there.
Yes, we'll be there.
We're going to talk to other partners, but also customers that are going to be also there to the event.
I think that's on the 10th of September.
Exactly.
Great.
Here in London. I don't remember where, but it's going to be here.
No, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. So if you're going to be at the event, just talk to us. Please. Either way, we're going to come back to this to the subject of a partner event on the next episode.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Vitor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.